What's up? I'm Hound, and this is my natural habitat. So I'm Lucas Isles. I DJ under the name Hound. I also make music under the name Hound. I'm from Christchurch, born in Christchurch, but I currently live in Wellington. I'm 21 and I've been producing drum and bass music in general for about 2 to 3 years now. Yeah. So when I was growing up, I was a massive fan of hip hop, and I was always really into a lot of the really creative beat making techniques and things that I would hear in the music, and it just inspired me to be able to make the music and pick up a DAW. And it kind of just escalated from there. I mean, I started off making beats, sort of just like rap hip hop beats, and then through my brother, who was DJing a lot at the time, he kind of got me into drum and bass, sort of forced me into it, but it was kind of my decision as well. And I just sort of like fell in love with the way that the group would work in drum and bass at the tempo, and I also fell in love with just the sound design and how technical it was, and so I decided to kind of take the leap and start producing it. And yeah, I guess about 2 to 3 years later, here we are now, and yeah, it's a massive passion of mine, absolutely. Let's have a look here. So I've got this thing here, which is called the Sound Toys Effect Rack, and this is easily my favorite. Plugin that I use. And basically, it's a combination of a bunch of really cool, kind of like analog sort of plugins that are emulations of analog equipment. And you can kind of like change either different ones. You've got filters, you've got delays, you've got this thing here, which is like a saturator and distorter. And you've got like choruses and stuff, and you can kind of put them all in different orders and create these really cool effects chains. And it can basically make anything sound really dope. So yeah, I would say this is definitely my saving grace. This is my baby. But yeah, there's a long list of other plugins that I really enjoy using as well. But yeah, it's all within FL Studio as well, which is what I've been using since I started making music. My inspiration just comes from listening to all my favorite EPs, artists and songs, etc. and then kind of really paying attention to what it is I'm doing and what it is that makes that so special for me, what it is I like about the track, and then trying to emulate that in my own creative way in the DAW, using my own plugins and stuff. As in terms of like actually making ideas, a lot of the time it comes down to sort of just throwing paint at the wall and hoping something looks good. But yeah, I like to sort of like only have a few different tunes kind of going at once. I don't really like to have heaps of ideas going, because I like to sort of focus on what I'm doing. I know that's different for some other artists, but yeah, I sort of just try to keep it to 2 or 3 tracks, sometimes maybe 4 or so tracks, and just really hone in on them, get in on the details. Once I have the idea down, really figure out what it is that makes the track work, and see if I can kind of craft that to be as best as it can be. My bro Aiden, as EFM, who's doing absolutely incredibly right now, I've got to put him on there. Next would probably be someone like Unwell, who's a really, really sick producer, really sick artist that's in Wellington, very, very underground, very underrated as well. Probably one of the better producers in New Zealand, in my opinion. My mate Lucas, who goes by the name Dusty, he is a wicked 140 artist. He's a DJ and producer. Yeah, there's a really, really dope producer called Shortball, who's doing a lot of really dope stuff at the moment as well. And of course my man Chunga over here as well, who's making some sick beats. I really like Club 121, but I also feel like 121 can be a little bit exclusive at times. I also really like what Connor and the crew have done with Love Not Lost. I think they've turned it into like a really tight, dope little small capacity venue, which is really, really low risk and very like accessible for a lot of artists, which I think is really cool. Wellington definitely needs that. Shed 6 is great for larger venues as well. But yeah, I think in general, I would say that Wellington is definitely in need of more venues for sure. Something like a proper club that can be like used by everyone, anything. Something like Christchurch's Hyde Club, I think, would be really, really dope for the city. But in terms of the venues that are currently active, I would definitely say those 3 are probably the best. Yeah.